They came for our gods. They found a prince. When the sky opened, the universe had catalogued Earth as insignificant, low-tech, divided, loud, a planet that still argued over borders while staring at the same stars. The Tirval Dominion had erased civilizations older than Earth's oceans. They harvested suns. They bent gravity like clay. When their scouts reached the Milky Way's outer spiral, Earth barely registered as a footnote, until something answered them back. The signal did not come from Washington, not from Beijing, not from Moscow. It came from West Africa, from a land the Dominion's databases described as resource-rich, politically fragmented, technologically underdeveloped. The signal was old, rhythmic, mathematical, encoded in drum patterns, buried in oral histories, hidden inside chants passed from father to son. The Dominion did not understand it, but they recognized one thing. It was a challenge. Prince Adekunle of Oyo-Ife was not supposed to be important. His kingdom was old, older than most nations, but modern maps reduced it to a footnote inside Nigeria's borders. The palace still stood, carved from stone that predated colonization, invasion, and false names. Adekunle was 23, tall, calm, observant. He spoke softly and listened hard, a dangerous combination in a world that mistook volume for power. The elders said he was too curious. The politicians said he was symbolic. The military said he was irrelevant. They were all wrong. Adekunle could hear the drums when no one played them. At night, when the city slept and generators hummed like tired insects, the walls of the palace whispered to him, not in words, but in memory. He never told anyone, until the sky split open. The Dominion arrived without ceremony. Their ships did not descend dramatically. They appeared, folding space inward like a breath being held. Massive black structures hovered above Earth's atmosphere, casting shadows that ignored the sun. They broadcast one message. Planet Earth, you are now under Tirval jurisdiction. Submit biological and cultural authorities for assimilation. World leaders argued. Militaries mobilized. Satellites went blind. And then the Dominion did something unexpected. They sent a shuttle, not to a capital, not to a military base, but to Oyo-Ife. The elders felt it before anyone saw it. The drums began to vibrate on their own. Adekunle stood in the palace courtyard as the ground hummed. A craft of living metal descended silently, folding its legs into the red earth like it belonged there. The Dominion delegation emerged, tall, pale, eyes like polished stone. Their leader spoke, translated instantly. We seek your gods. The courtyard went silent. Adekunle stepped forward. We have none, he said calmly. Only ancestors. The alien's eyes narrowed. Then where's the one who carries the key? The drums stopped. Every elder turned to Adekunle. The Dominion believed gods ruled humanity. They were wrong. Africa had never worshipped gods the way the Dominion understood. What they worshipped was memory. Long before the first pyramid, long before writing, before cities, something had come to Earth. Not conquerors, but refugees. An ancient species fleeing extinction. They did not rule. They taught. They embedded knowledge in rhythm, movement, story, blood. When they left guardians. Not kings. Not gods. Stewards. The Dominion had destroyed those beings across the galaxy. Earth was the last place they hid, and Africa was where they trusted humanity the most. Adekunle was not special because he was royal. He was royal because his bloodline had never broken, never abandoned the stories, never severed the rituals, never forgot who they were. The Dominion realized too late. Earth was not primitive. Earth was patient. The Dominion demanded Adekunle surrender. He refused. Politely, the Dominion attempted force. That was their mistake, because humanity had learned something the Dominion never did. Technology decays. Culture adapts. As Dominion weapons disabled satellites, African engineers rerouted power grids manually. When communications collapsed, griots carried messages across borders faster than encrypted channels. When Dominion drones scanned cities, they could not read nonlinear warfare. Protests turning into ambushes, rituals masking electromagnetic signatures. old trade routes becoming supply lines. The Dominion could not understand why humans fought harder when losing, especially Africans, especially when the prince spoke. Adekunle addressed the world, standing barefoot on ancestral stone. You think power comes from domination. Ours comes from endurance. You erase history. We carry it. Behind him, the drums began again, and the planet answered. The Dominion fleet descended to enforce compliance. They expected surrender. They met resistance. Human weapons did little, but human strategy did everything. Nigerian hackers used obsolete frequencies Dominion systems ignored. Ethiopian astronomers tracked fleet movement by naked eye calculations. Kenyan pilots flew manually when AI failed. And then Adekunle activated the last inheritance. Not a weapon, a message, broadcast across Dominion channels. A simple human truth. You conquered every species that feared death. We made peace with it. The ancestral system awakened, not attacking, but locking Dominion ships into Earth's gravity well. They could not leave. For the first time in their history, the Dominion was trapped by a species they thought insignificant. The Dominion pleaded. They offered technology, immortality, stars. Adekunle listened, then refused. You came for our gods, he said, but all you found were people. He shut the system down. The Dominion ships fell, not crashing but powerless, captured. Humanity did not exterminate them. We detained them, because that's what humans do when they grow up. Earth did not become an empire. Africa did not rule the world. But something changed. Humanity realized it was never weak, only divided. And somewhere in Oyo Ife, a prince became a man history would never forget. The universe learned a lesson it would never repeat. Do not mistake silence for absence. Do not mistake tradition for stagnation. And never underestimate a species that remembers who it is. Because humans don't conquer the stars. We outlast them.